Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another review of Foundation, Season 2, Episode number 6, Why the Gods Made Wine. IMDb gave this a 8.1. And as you can see, this picture of Tellem there, that's a weird picture of
Yeah.
her, isn't it? Like, what's wrong with
Dude,
your
that's
teeth?
accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate right there.
She's, man, you
She's
know
wilding
what?
out.
Tellem, I'm not feeling her anymore.
Well, because she's up to no good.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
It's
her.
obvious she's up to no good.
I'm like,
She might get rid of Prime Radium.
she needs to go. Someone needs to like Swiss her up for real. She needs to go. And you know what? She will go. She will. You think she's going to be
she's
gone or
done.
what?
She's done for. Yeah,
Yeah.
done for.
Yeah, maybe a
After
few
what
episodes.
she just did, well, we'll
Yeah.
get to it in a bit. But like what she did, yeah, she's done for.
Yeah,
a
it's
wrap.
just crazy, man. You have everything going on. You have Hober Mallow. You have the clerics.
Yeah.
Everything.
Robot Harry basically sent them to their death, right? They're sacrificial lambs because he's still thinking in hundreds of years. So individual people are irrelevant. He's just got his goal to get to this point, and he set them up. They're done for. It's a wrap. They ain't gonna make it.
Well,
That's sad though.
But why so these are the people, the clerics were the people in charge of spreading the word of the Foundation. Why would he kill them then?
I don't know. Well, the Foundation's going to kill them, but like he sent them, they weren't prepared. I think they thought, oh, we're just going to go over here and just talk. Like, nah, son. They're like, yo, you got to get out of here.
You can't
be anything here.
You about to get the Inquisitors, everything.
But here's the point, though. They haven't gotten the information yet. They still don't know exactly how far ahead they are.
Yeah.
As far as the civilization, they have no idea because he hasn't returned back with the information yet. He's going to another planet.
No.
So I guess based on the timeline, we don't know what the timeline is exactly, but I'm assuming it's about the same or as close to it.
Yeah,
because they would be on that show.
Yeah, that's
true.
The
battalion would have been on the show if the timeline was close. So I think that they don't know yet how far and fast they are with the whisper ships and all the other stuff. So I mean, if this guy shows up while they're there, it's over. This could like blow them up.
I'm still surprised Bel Roche hasn't showed up yet. This is two episodes and he didn't show up last episode. He didn't show up this episode. What's going on with him?
He's gonna be in the next show for sure.
Yeah,
100%. He's gonna be in the next show. But like, I think that there's a lot to pack into the show because you had young Harry. He's macking on these college professors doing his thing.
As so college young Harry professors do.
yeah. And then he grew his evil professor goatee, and he's like, "Oh, it's war now." So it's very fascinating. You had a good chunk of this was on Harry, like his life as a kid, and his life as an adult, and then his life currently, and then you had Hober basically just found his ship, and that was it. His thing was done.
He's like, what's going on?
I got a lot of questions about the Spacers. Like they're genetically modified. They made a deal with the Empire, I guess, they can survive. You can tell that's a survival deal they made.
Yeah,
that they're like, we got to do this thing, modify us whatever you want, and then we'll live. That's basically what it was. Because like, the Mentalics, they didn't make a deal and they're running for their lives. So
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real.
Spacers have to be like, they have some kind of genetic thing in them that makes them able to survive in space.
Yeah.
They just genetically modified them to handle the space jumps. That's basically what it is. But there's something about them that's unique that made them be like, okay, we got to survive in this. We'll do whatever they say. Because they're stuck in space. They got to live in the spaceship. They can't go back to Earth. I think it's like Expanse, the Belters, where like their bones have kind of been elongated because they've been in space so long. I think it's a similar concept as that.
No oxygen,
that's probably where they got it
oxygen,
from.
No water.
It's so weird. That's probably where they got the idea from Expanse, from this.
It's so weird because I didn't even know until like this episode that the Spacers is actually a species. It's like it's a bunch. It's a group of people.
It's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I don't thought there's a couple of them, but it makes sense that the Empire is enormous. They got a bunch of planets and they're all traveling around here. So there has to be like thousands of these people, maybe a million of them.
Yeah.
All over the place, just helping these guys travel.
That's I like that even though I don't know too much about like what's going to happen with the Spacers or what's that storyline going to be, I love that they introduced that. It's like, oh, wait a minute. The Spacers is a group of people too. They have their
It's
own
a whole
planet,
other
the whole
thing.
nine. Like,
I'm telling you, the
man.
second I saw that, it reminded me of the belt. Like they're stuck out there, and
Yep.
they probably resent the Empire too. And it's fascinating that that's probably why Halbor went over there. Is that like, he's probably setting them up to some kind of conflict between them and the Empire, because they cannot do any travel without them. If these guys say we're gonna go on strike, the Empire is screwed. Right, that alone that they're screwed.
Right, because the Foundation with their new ships, they don't need Spacers. They
They don't
have
need
this new
it. Yeah, they got
technology, you
that
know.
that thing on their triangle they put in their arm,
Right,
or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
like it's a huge problem,
it's
right?
kind of the triangle is kind of dope though. It's just like boop. It's
Yeah, I
just
know.
like it's kind of
Just put
dope.
it back in the chair.
Yeah, also, a lot popped off like just with Harry as a young person, like you said, and
hmm
him and like hooking up with Yana and everything else, and like,
hmm
whoo, that was crazy right there, man.
I
For
can watch
real.
a Young Harry Empire show, like Foundation, Young
Yeah.
Harry exploits. Like
Yeah,
he's like a asshole.
he was a bit more brash, he didn't really care, he was just like, I'm doing
Yeah,
this, I
yeah,
would suffocate, yada yada yada. So yeah, Harry is
yeah.
wow, man. Harry, I mean, like, this guy did Altered Carbon, if you remember.
hmm Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he's in
He's a big actor. He's
he
in
is
some
big,
great
man.
shows.
He is just so
He's
big.
been in great stuff.
Did
I
he
mean, for the
also
sci-fi community, he's a big actor. For
mhm,
everybody else, it's like, who's this guy?
yeah. You know what? He did Alter Carbon, and he also showed up. He did a season or two with The Expanse too, remember?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he's a legend for sci-fi shows.
Wow. That's crazy,
He's a
man.
legend. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think he was in Battlestar Galactica. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Crazy.
I'm pretty sure he's been in there.
We
But
did
anyways, we're getting off topic. Yeah.
we actually just spoke about a overview, but do you want to give a brief overview, then we can get into it?
Yeah, so this show covers three things primarily. So Hober, who's in the show for like 5 minutes, found a giant spaceship that's not on grid. I guess it's supposed to be a planet or whatever, but like he found a giant spaceship where the spacers are that nobody's supposed to know about. And so that's one loop, but that was like 2 minutes on the show.
Yeah.
The bulk of it was really with Tellem and Harry and Savor
Yep.
and Gaal.
Hmm.
And Gaal was more logical this episode, which is great. That's always a
Hmm.
good plus.
Hmm.
And then Empire. So we had he's introducing the new queen, the Galactic Queen, to the thing,
Yo,
and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do a
she's
speech.
rogue,
I
man.
was
She
like,
went
wait, what?
rogue. She went rogue. I'm surprised, like,
Yo,
they didn't go, what? Let me give this
yeah,
chick the
like
finger.
right.
Like, get up out of here.
He had a look like this chick right here. Like, who is she talking to?
Hmm.
Like, how dare her?
Yeah,
But you set it up for that to happen in the first place. You should have never done that.
yeah.
Why don't you do like a press conference and be like, yeah, all right, it's scripted.
Hmm.
This is her. It's my new ball and chain. All right, cool. Moving on. Galactic Empire stuff. We're going to like I thought that's what you would have done, but he went to the people and it's like, yo, you set yourself up for this. This is your fault.
Yeah.
And you from the beginning, the first time you met her, she insulted you and basically tried to take control of things. Like she clowned you about how much power you really have and how your empire is crumbling. That's the first moment you met her.
Yeah.
And you thought, I'm gonna introduce her to the whole Empire Galactic Senate or whatever the hell it is that they got there. And I'm gonna introduce her and nothing's gonna happen. She's gonna go smoothly. And come on, man.
Yeah.
I think that Day is an idiot. I like it. I like the character a lot, but this Day is dumb. He's really stupid. He's
this
naive.
day, this tainted Day, I do like him, but he's like, Day Cleon, I should say Cleon the 13th or whatever. Those guys were like a bit more hardcore, they didn't take any mess. They would hang you, they would kill you, whatever. This Day, he's a bit, like I said, he's a bit more playful. He's all into it, man. He's all over the place. And it also seems like Dawn and Day, are less of that. They have less of that playfulness. They're just like, we have to do
Yeah,
something. Mm-hmm.
Dusk is like he's frustrated.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, if when I was dead, I would never. That's in
Dawn
the
and
back of
Dusk
his head. He's like,
yeah.
I would never do this.
Right.
When I was dead, I would.
That's crazy.
That's all he's doing. That's all he's talking about. You can tell he's annoyed.
They did have let's okay, so let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about just this little. There are two small sections in here. One is like with Hober Mallow. We'll speak about him just shortly. Let's talk about the clerics going to Trantor.
Yeah, and get nabbed up like
and
FBI.
get nabbed. I mean, come on, man. They got shrouded the whole nine. So you know what was interesting about this here was when they got to the Trantor station. And they went through, I guess, the magnetrons or whatever they're called, right? People who went through before them were green. Now, if you went through and something was wrong, you would think that it would go from green to red. This one, when the clerics went through, it went to yellow. Now, this is my theory on this. It went to yellow. Basically, that's an alert like, first of all, let's alert, the Imperial Guards. And also, let's let them through and put them in a situation where we know where they are. What do you think?
Yeah, that's how we're keeping an eye on you. We're gonna send the agents in a white van, just gonna drive around and watch you for a little bit. See what happens. That's basically what it was.
Yeah. So they got hemmed up, man. It's just like, and you said like offline, you said like this was. So you think that they will be killed, or you think that they're gonna be around?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. I think somebody's going down. I think Constant's probably gonna survive, but it looked like the other guy. This is his last days. Like he's done for.
Brother Constant, really? Oh,
yeah,
Polly.
yeah,
I mean,
Polly. Polly's not gonna make it. I think Brother Constant's gonna make it.
Yeah,
I think one of them's gone for sure. Because Polly looked like he had his last. Because he threw his drugs out, and he's looking at the sun like, yo, he did your true believer speech. And like you can tell, like he's over it. He's like, I got back here. I'm
man,
good.
He's a drug addict, or he was a drug addict, an alcoholic. I mean, he knew he was like, snorting yayo. My man was just like, oh, this guy had he had the spoon, the whole nine. I was like, oh, okay, they have spoons in space now. Okay, bro, very good.
He's got the space coca.
Yo, it's crazy, man.
He's wilding out.
So with that, I'm gonna say this. I think that Day would be interested in knowing what these clerics, they call them magicians, right? So he would be interested in knowing what's going on with the Foundation. They have like an understanding of that, at least to some degree, right?
Well, I mean, that's what he said. Ball was there to find out more about them anyway, and they actually came to their planet, so he's gonna interrogate. They're gonna interrogate them.
Yeah,
but I feel like Polly looks at this like it's the end, and he's pretty much done. He doesn't look like he's gonna keep going on living the fight. The way he said that speech about the true believer thing, it seems like he's hanging up his hat. He's finished after this, and it's for Constant to take over. That's what it looks like.
But but Constant, she knows about the Foundation through folklore, whereas Polly knows, he has a firsthand account of it. Yeah,
he was there when the first time he came out the vault.
Right. So Constant has never seen Harry. He's never seen Gaal, any of these people, right? And Polly has. So that's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, that's fascinating too, because like from his perspective, he said that I believe because I saw it, but you believe because you're like a true believer because you want to. You believe in the focus of the what we're doing,
right?
The end goal, whatever. Like you believe that more, which I mean, that's a good way to explain religion too. Like a lot of people that they believe in something, but the official stories, like you're back in the Bible days and you saw the fish and the wine. You're like, oh, okay, and then we're telling it 2,000 years old. You're like, what? Like that really happened or whatever from your perspective. But I guess that's the parallels they're trying to give you here.
Yeah. And the other thing, like when they were on the ship and like the spacers woke up Constant, Constant seemed like she was really intrigued with the spacer. Like, oh, wait, wow. You're like, listen, Constant, please put her in a position so, she can get what she needs. And then we can move on with that for real.
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah.
just tell she's like, I need this,
She's
and it's
backed
gonna
up.
be a spacer, it's gonna be Hober Mallow, it's gonna be the robot over here. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy. I have a theory about
she's
robots
backed up.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, go
you
ahead.
said she's backed up.
Yeah. Her pipes need to be cleaned up.
Yo,
She's
for
backed
real,
up.
she's backed up, yo. We could talk about the robot thingy when we get to Harry. So really
Yeah.
quickly now, because this, like you said, like the Hober Mallow joint, that was only like 2 to 5 minutes,
Yeah, it was short. He
Yeah.
found the ship and it's like, oh,
Mhm.
spacers. All right, and then they were done.
So, but didn't like when they were in the vault, didn't Harry said he had
Mhm.
a different mission on Trantor for Hober Mallow?
I don't remember if he said Trantor, but he said he had a different plan for him.
Mhm.
He said that you're supposed to be the knife or whatever. So I definitely think that he's going to the spacers to disrupt the whole space travel thing for them. To wreck
Mm.
that.
So
That makes
some like,
sense.
just sow some weird, thoughts into the spacers and everything. Yeah, that was man, that shit was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, get the vision.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that
enormous. It looked like a planet.
that joint was really huge. This ship is huge. It's huge. I mean,
Mhm.
is it to me it looked like it was bigger than the 20th Fleet ship or
Yeah, it's
not maybe.
giant.
Yeah.
It's just really giant. Like it's like a moon, like Star Wars. Star Wars, like a giant moon base. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
felt
yeah.
like.
Mhm. They are like you said, they are just like the belt with the expanse. They are sort of elongated, longer necks, longer
Mhm.
limbs, the whole nine. You think that's
Mhm.
from living in space, or is that something totally different?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's from living in space. Like that's just
Hmm.
part of the thing. If you don't have gravity around you, that your body's just going to expand. I
Yeah,
think their bones are not as dense, and if they went to Earth, it would probably kill them, or they went to
right.
Trant or whatever, it would probably kill them. It'd be
Yeah.
too much pressure.
Wow. So they have to they have to be in
They
space.
have to live in space. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's
I
like
mean,
instantly I saw that I was like expanse. That's expanse.
yeah. I mean, I wonder what they do in space as spacers, on the ship. I mean, do they have like a cafeteria? I
Well,
mean,
I would like to
things
see
like
more
that.
of this spaceship that he found. I want to see
Yeah.
more of it. Like, what the hell's going on over there?
I mean, where do they live? Where do they congregate? Where's the bridge?
Mhm.
Everything, So that's very interesting, that joint right there.
Yeah,
Um,
'cause they turned the gravity on for him to get him into that area where they were at, but I don't think they have gravity at all. They're just floating, which is
yeah,
wild. So you think about
right.
it.
Because when he came in that area, the spacers were floating. He dropped right to the floor.
Yeah. I think they turned something on for him in
Yeah.
particular, but they're chill in the air. Which I don't know
Yeah.
if I would like that after a while. I'd be uncomfortable just floating all the time.
It depends on how much fun I'm having as a spacer, It's like if
Fair
there's
enough.
like massive parties, like really cool movie
Mhm.
theaters, stuff like that, I'll be like, I'm fine with
Something to
it.
do. What is
Something to
Spacer
do.
Cinema like? Like, what are they gonna do for entertainment?
They probably watch old episodes of like The Odd Couple, The Honeymooners, They probably get like old black and white sitcoms, from like
The
the 20th
classics.
century. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The
That's
classics.
that's insane. So now if we go to because on Trantor, that also wasn't too long, but if we go to Trantor, wow.
Mhm.
So Sareth, man, Sareth better
Mhm.
chill out before she gets the fingers.
Bro, you gotta get the bag first. I don't know what she's doing.
Get that
Her
bag first.
attitude is, yo, we're gonna do our. She's acting like I'm already queen. I got my kid.
Mm.
It's a son. I'm good to go. She's acting like that's all done. It's all in the bag. It's not.
Now, when
I
you
don't
say get
understand
the
that.
bag first, do you mean get pregnant first, or what do you mean by
Yes, you gotta get pregnant. Like Game of Thrones, your son too. Get that thing
that?
done.
Wow, that is insane.
Well,
So
I think they're far enough in time that they can control that to make sure the sun comes out. But still, you gotta get pregnant first before
yeah,
she's
yeah,
acting
yeah.
like it's done already. Not making
she's
sense to me.
she's also acting like she has like massive amounts of power over
Hmm.
the empire. Just
Yeah,
because, it's like, what are you doing? This guy can off you. What are you doing?
dude's like, hey, off your planet, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand
The
that. Like,
the
it's
entire Cloud Dominion congregation that's on Trantor, he can
mhm.
completely off them, just like he did with the other two groups. He hung him. Remember, he can totally get rid of
Yeah.
you.
he the first season they blew up the 2 planets
That's true.
that were affecting. Yeah, they wiped out a good chunk of both of those planets.
Yeah.
So like that's your first impression of what this guy's capable of doing, and he's arrogant too. That makes it worse. Like
Hmm.
I think like I think they're trying to show you how desperate he is, that he's willing to put up with this stuff, like the nagging wife, the ball and chain. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't even care. Like, just make this
Hmm.
thing done. Just join our plans and be done with it. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's gonna be folding the paper. He's gonna be reading the newspaper at the breakfast. Like,
Right.
man, this chick's killing me right now.
What did I get myself into? So when he gave his speech and he introduced, Sareth,
Yeah.
she went up. First of all, it did not seem, it didn't look like that he introduced her and then gave her the podium. It seems like she went to the podium herself.
Yeah, it looked like It looked like he introduced like, "Hey, this is my soon to be my wife."
Right.
Anyways, guys, peace out. We're gonna have some brunch, and she was like, "No, I got something to say too."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That threw everybody for a loop. I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Yeah. That
I
was
think Don was like, "Yo, what the hell's going on right now?"
yeah. Dusk was like, oh, looks like we had our
Yeah,
last
exactly.
feast, just like, first of all, like, how can Day just himself? I know he is in control. That's how this
Yeah, Day has
genetic
final say
dynasty
about
works.
everything.
Yes. But
When
how
you're
can
Day,
he
you have
just get
final say.
rid of the genetic dynasty just like that? How can he do that?
Dawn is taking it very lightly. If I was looking at that, like, bro, you're getting rid of my position. You got rid of
Mhm.
me. If I was Dawn, I'd be hot right now. Like, because basically, it would be like, it would make more sense if Dawn came out and Dawn became Day, and then Dawn said, "That's it. We're not gonna make a new Dawn."
Right.
That would make more sense. But Dawn's there, and Dusk is there, and he's
Yeah.
saying, "Screw these guys." That's the crazy part to me, because if Dawn came up with the idea, said after me that we're not gonna do this anymore, that would make more sense. But he's there, and he has no say in the matter. I would be annoyed,
Yeah.
especially because like in just like 10 years he would be Day. Like I could be hot, like,
Yeah.
because Don's got to be what, 16, 7, 20,
And
something like that. He's
and
close to it.
Sareth looks a lot younger than Day, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said, that we would be like, we're perfectly matched. It would be
Yeah.
us instead of Day.
And you did notice when they were like standing there, like Sareth and Dawn, they kept looking at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I think
be
there's like
us,
some
not
kind of vibes
us,
or something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Speaking
Well,
of
she
that,
put that idea in his head. Yeah.
Speaking
Go
of
ahead.
that, when they last episode, I meant to say this. She was meeting in this secret location with Rue and also her handman and Markley.
Yeah.
Where was the Shadow Master? I know he killed the
question.
Shadow Master. Like, remember, he killed the Shadow Master like when he
The
got
last time
attacked in
after
his room. Yeah.
Yeah, the angels came in there.
Right,
Yeah.
the blind angels. So, but they can spin those up really easily. Where is the Shadow Master? Because the Shadow Master was able to follow the other Dawn into the Scar and figure everything out, if you remember that.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So,
Shadow Master seems to be sleeping. So, like, to me, they should have cameras and people following this lady everywhere.
Yeah.
The fact that she thinks she can talk peacefully and quietly makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense.
Especially, she's one of the most important people on the planet next to Day, based on their plans for the future.
Yeah.
You have no cameras following her, and nobody's like in the corner. You don't have any spies in her with her group of people who ever follow her. Like, that makes no sense. That makes no. Day is delusional if they don't have any kind of intel on her.
Right.
Just like a bug or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put a bug in her purse. You tapped her iPhone, like, nothing. Like,
maybe she's on WhatsApp. You gotta get the data from that or something. Why was
right? It don't make any sense. I don't know. That's illogical for me.
It is. Why did Day look at Demoiselle really like, oh, I am so upset at you? Why did he look at her like that?
I think it's Demoiselles' idea to do this in the first place. I think she's guiding these guys.
Yeah. He spoke
100%.
about that. He was like, we spoke about it. So I think it's
Yeah, I
something
think she's
else.
the one telling these
Mhm.
guys what to do, and
Wow.
she's leading this thing.
Yeah, because she's keeping a lot from Dusk as well, as you can see from
Oh
last
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, she
That is
knows about the
crazy.
missing information that none of these guys have. Like this,
She,
I'm telling you, she's the one in charge of the Empire,
yeah.
and 100%. If the Day and Sareth have a kid, she's gonna be in charge of that kid too.
If Day is still available, if he's still around, because again, my theory is Demoiselle has set this entire thing up, and it's been going on for centuries, decades,
Yeah, well,
centuries.
Demoiselle could be involved in making sure the line is corrupt. Anything's possible because she's been there the longer than anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're talking 400 years, maybe longer that she's been around.
And
so for certain, she's been in this Empire thing with these Cleons for 400 years. That's guaranteed there.
Yeah.
So who knows how old she is.
And here's the other thing, right? It is so... I can't believe that Demoiselle is the only robot left. I just can't... I'm not accepting that.
Yeah. Well, they got rid of all the robots, though. So, I mean, it's the same thing like Dune, where they're banned all the thinking robots. They're like, we don't want this anywhere.
But why keep one? Why keep this one?
It's a secret. No one's supposed to know she exists.
So, if that's a secret, why can't there be another secret that, hey, you know what? There are other robots.
No, your logic is very good. Like, it's sound logic. They're telling us this is the way they're presenting the story to us, that she's the last one.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It's possible like they're making them in other planets or whatever. That's what they're doing in Dune and making other robots elsewhere.
Yeah,
it's not telling you.
Now, if we now take it to the very last part, the whole crew. This is the important crew. You have Hari, you have Tellem, you have Gaal, you have Salvor. Salvor to me seems like the mother figure, not Gaal, right? She seems like it.
Salvor's logical. That's why I like Salvor.
Salvor is logical, man. I mean, she can't fight, but she's very logical. She puts it together,
Yeah.
So what the interesting thing about this segment is this. Last week, they went through all of this stuff to make Hari a biological again, right?
Yeah.
And so you mean to tell me this, so that was last episode. The very next episode, you're going to kill him?
We don't know the timeline. That's the thing. We don't know the timeline. We don't know if they're close by or when this is happening. So they could maybe they save him. Maybe, I don't know.
Hari, but he's not dying. He's not dying, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for Hari to die there.
Yeah,
but
just drown?
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
because they have the prime radiance, so they could spin up another Hari if they had to. They just go back to the planet, like
right.
It's possible.
It's possible. And it's also sort of silly, and I understand it, but it's also silly because Salvor figured this out really quickly. Like, Hari said to Salvor, find the prime radiant. It's not going to look like what you think, right? And it's on the ship, right?
Yeah, it's on the table.
Right.
You saw them when he flipped it up for the flashback Hari. It was on the table.
So the weird thing about that is, why would Hari then just take the beggar and bounce? And the beggar's not even repaired either, right? So
yeah, there's a giant hole in it still, or maybe they fixed it. We were off camera, but like from her perspective, seeing Hari leave like that is kind of dumb.
Yeah,
but but they are in their mind though. I think for us it seems dumb, but for them they're in their mind. They're kind of like in a trance still.
Yeah,
that Tellem is basically projecting what's in their head, because I don't think they're strong enough to fight back from that. So like Tellem said, like, you saw Hari just flew off, and they just took the ship so they can kind of find the prime radiant and destroy it.
Yeah, but it's
very interesting.
Salvor is going to figure that out. Because why would Hari tell her to find that prime radiant is on the ship, then he leaves with the ship and the prime radiant?
Yeah. The reason why I like Salvor as a character is because she's not stupid.
She's not.
She's competent.
She puts it all together,
Yeah, she can't fight, but she's competent. So I respect that. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
now speaking of fighting, it seems like Gail has like some extra powers there. You see how she pushed,
Yeah, she had a
Tellem?
force pull, a force
Yeah,
push.
that's what
Like,
I'm saying. So, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so this is how Tellem will be defeated. Harry's not dead. Harry's not dead. And I also have another
well,
theory about,
he's got like seconds away though.
well, I think that he's going to use this like, mathematical mind to like sort of bring him up, or
You think he's gonna get out, or I think they're gonna save him. I don't think he's gonna get out. I think they're gonna save him.
Harry is going to be alive. He's not going to die. He's not going to drown.
If anybody saves him, it's gonna be Salvor.
Yeah, exactly. Now, check this out now, because when they were going back and forth to the universities and everything, which was really an excellent scene because it introduced Yana, and it also told us how Yana, and when she was actually pregnant with their child, how she died. So two things. One, so Dr. Taj, right? Dude, when I was looking at it, I was like, man, she looks like a robot. She looks like a robot.
That's interesting.
That's
interesting.
She can have that sort of attitude and the way she carries herself and everything, unlike, Demoiselle. But I kept looking at it and I was like, man, is she a robot or not? So I don't know.
But I think they got rid of robots like thousands of years ago. I don't think it's a new thing. They just got rid of them recently. Because everybody thinks that Demoiselle is a clone. So they've been hiding this thing for a while now. So I don't think that the robot thing is recent. I think it's like thousands of years ago that there were like no more robots anywhere.
Yeah.
And they're hiding her. So she has to be like 1,000 years old.
I'm
Maybe
not
longer.
I'm not sure, but I would not be surprised if there are more robots at all.
Yeah.
That's
the interesting thing. Like her mannerisms, whatever. You think that was a tell? Like she looks like a robot.
Yeah, again, she's not like very stoic like Demoiselle. Robots. These are robots, so you can program them to do anything, right? But she was like,
that's an interesting theory.
Again, it's just a theory, So, and that's what these like really super duper, high end egghead sort of sci-fi shows do. I like shows like that make me think about like possible theories and everything like that. So Tellem.
But I think that she's a person because the Tellem was using that story to get into Harry's head.
Yeah.
About how he got rid of that person, got rid of the professor person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think she's a real person because of that. Because if it was a robot, he wouldn't feel any ways about it because they don't care about robots. Robots is like a hairdryer or a microwave to them.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would feel personally bad about offing it. That's the only reason why I think that it is a real person.
Yeah.
Like that's something he's holding back of his head, pretending like he forgot about it.
Mm. You know what else was cool? Like how Yana gave Harry like a necklace.
Yeah,
and it was
that baby thing, that was cool.
That was dope because it was hard. He was able to hear or feel
both heartbeats. Yeah,
exactly. And then he knew she died. Both of them. So
yeah. So he was on to her from jump. Like, oh, word, you want me to go over there? She's alive. Word, all right. We gonna see about that.
Man, Harry is a hacker too. He hacked the ship. He hacked the gun.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, man, can someone arrest this hacker and whatnot? This guy is a super duper hacker. I think that Gaal. I think Gaal has powers like that where she can move things. I think she is more powerful.
Yeah, she's telekinetic.
Yes, I think she is.
So she can see the future, she can read minds, and she's telekinetic. That's crazy. That's superpowers right there.
Yeah. So I think, and again, I'm just gonna make again, it's not another theory, but I think that in the next episode, in the next 2 episodes, they're gonna show us how Tellem is killed. Tellem has to go away.
I think Tellem's gonna die soon. She said she's sick anyway.
Yeah.
She's trying to get Gaal to replace her because she knows how powerful she is.
Right.
So she wants Gaal to be invested in this community off of emotions, which I mean it makes sense. But I think that I definitely think you're right. Tellem's gonna die soon. Like, she's not gonna make it.
And that whole the unvoicing and everything, that's kind of cool too, how people are
Yeah,
like,
that's
she's
interesting.
like,
That's
why
super
isn't it? She's
interesting.
like, why is everyone quiet? The little kid was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they're not. They're unvoicing. I'm like, wow, imagine that. Is just that
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
it's
That's
this show,
crazy.
man.
Yo,
This
think about how
show,
powerful you could be with a group of these people.
oh my goodness, right? And it's like, I mean, and tell them she'll like go rescue these people, but you can't be a savior and then start and you're killing people as well. I don't get that. It's like you can't
Yeah,
be,
her morals are jacked up.
yeah,
They're
it's just
definitely
like, come
jacked up.
on. I mean, what are you? You want to save these people and you want to kill Harry because he's trying to create a
Mm-hmm.
foundation or whatever? You could have worked something out and said, you know what? We do need a second foundation, but can you not make Ignis the second foundation? She could have just
Mm-hmm.
said that and it would have been all said and done. But
Yeah, well, because Carrie's going off of a hunch why you need to go to this planet. He doesn't know why you need to be there first.
yeah,
He's guesstimating why you need to be here. He's trying to
yeah.
figure it out. But yeah, that's messed up.
Now, I have this crazy theory before we wrap it up, and you got to tell me what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that Yana was killed, and, also the unborn baby was killed,
Mm-hmm.
Kellen actually brought Harry back to his biological form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it remotely possible that she is the daughter of Harry?
How though?
Dude, this is the Prime Radiant. You can do anything in that joint. Maybe,
I mean, basically, it's sci-fi. You can basically do anything.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Yana
Just
placed
take the
her,
DNA out.
yeah, maybe
She's-
Yana put her DNA in the Prime Radiant and, it just grew organically. You never know.
I mean, anything's possible. They were working together on it, and she was fairly pregnant. It wasn't like it was still a fetus or whatever. She was pretty
Right.
pregnant when that thing happened. So I don't know. Anything's possible. It's
It's
sci-fi. Anything's possible.
yeah, man. This is I didn't even when I was watching when we were watching The Expanse, also Silo, just all these shows we watch,
Mm.
just the just the intrigue of this show and just everything you can think of, the possibilities of this show. I
Mm.
just love it. My mind goes crazy. I'm just like, hey, that could be a
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
mean, this could be a thing. You never know. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's why I like these shows, because like mentally, it forces you to think about other avenues and
Yeah.
be creative with what you're watching. It's not what you're watching on TV is not the only thing. Like there's more stuff that's implied, things that we haven't been seen yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
it's why these shows are great, because
Yeah.
they let your imagination run wild. Everyone's got theories about stuff. So this is quality writing here. Like we didn't have no explosions, and we're invested in this show. This is what you need. It's great stuff here.
None, dude. You got to love that, man. So,
Yeah.
we are talking about Foundation, Season 2, Episode number 6, Why the Gods Made Wine. Keo, what are you going to rate this show, this episode?
This is a 9 easily.
Yeah.
Easily a 9.
Mm-hmm.
This is high up there. This was an excellent episode.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that happened and the reveals about history and everything, like, because you didn't know about Harry's life. Harry's a bit of a badass back in the day.
Yeah.
Smacking out professors, creating Prime Radiance, doing his thing.
You know what I'm saying? For real, just like, wow.
And
Okay.
then he grew the goatee and turned evil. I love it, man.
Yeah,
All
this
this
is
stuff's awesome.
you gotta love it, man. I am also gonna give this a 9 because it was just a lot of breadcrumbs they dropped here. It's just like this here,
It's good
Harry,
stuff.
Tellem.
We're moving the story forward.
Moving the
Good
story.
stuff here.
Other interesting thing about this entire season, and just this entire show, right? This show is shot on locations.
It feels like it.
Locations.
It doesn't feel like a cheap show with some screens behind you. It feels like they're there.
And
it matters so much.
They shot in Spain. They shot all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm looking at the show, like this past episode, I'm like, man, this has to be such an expensive show because they are on locations.
Yeah, they're going places.
Not locations. So I'm just like, man, and you can't find that. You can't find that anywhere, like how much this show cost.
It's quality. I know, it's expensive. Apple's spending buckets of money on this show.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I hope the ratings are good and they keep going, because it's worth it, man. Everybody needs to watch this show. It's great.
This is definitely one of the best. We're not going to make a decision on that until the end of the year.
That's
but
too soon. They gotta stick the landing. But
yeah,
right now, it's quality. It's up there.
right. But this is definitely one of the better sci-fi shows this year we've watched. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta love it.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.